This audio course is brought to you by Shepherd's Global Classroom, a ministry that exists to equip the body of Christ by providing curriculum for rising Christian leaders around the world. For a digital or print copy of this study, complete with study questions, assignments and tests, please download the free Shepherd's Global Classroom app to your iOS or Android device or visit our website at shepherdsglobal.org. Thank you for listening.
Lesson 11. Ministry with Purpose. Organizational Identity and Purpose. Many organizations, including churches, have never gone through a process of thinking about their purpose because it seems that their purpose is obvious. Because they assume their purpose, it seems obvious that they should be doing certain activities. Their goals are merely to succeed at those activities. Managers try to get the work done well, but leaders should think about what work needs to be done. It is important to do things right, but first, we must be doing the right things. A pastor should not be just a manager, but a leader. There is a process of development that is important to every organization, whether it is a ministry, business, or some other kind of organization. A church may assume that they exist to have good worship services, take care of their members, and evangelize the community. A church may assume that they exist to have good worship services, take care of their members, and evangelize the community. But many churches never make plans to make those things happen purposefully. An organization should go through a process of development that includes much self-examination. What is most important to us? Why does this organization exist? What would it mean for us to succeed? What are some specific successes we can plan to reach? What can we do now to reach our goals? These questions correspond to the first 5 stages of organizational development. The process of organizational development has these stages: values, purpose, vision, goals, strategy, action, and achievement. The stages are not completely separate. For example, an organization is probably already planning strategy and taking action even while it is discovering its values. Various programs and departments in an organization might be working on different stages of this process. The order is important because each stage affects the ones that follow. Changes at any stage will make changes in the following stages. For example, if an organization changes its understanding of its purpose, it will change its goals and its definition of achievement. The process does not occur only once. Values and purpose should not change after they are understood well, but everything else does. Whether goals are achieved or not, new goals must be set. After achievement or failure, the organization must again look at its values and purpose, clarify its vision, set new goals, plan new strategy. Stage 1. Discovering values. Values is a term for the things we consider most important. Individuals have values. Groups are formed of people who share values. An organization has values. It exists to serve those values. For a Christian, whether in business or ministry, pleasing God is the ultimate value. The values of an organization designed to please God, and there should be no other kind, will take seriously biblical truth, the church, and the gospel. Even organizations that do not profess to be Christian are usually based on some good values because they exist to meet human needs. One business organization listed its values this way: integrity in all things, quality care, relationships, and learning. For any business, one important value is to make profit, because the business cannot serve its purpose without profit. However, even for a business, profit is not the most important value. Another large business listed these values: safety, service, fun, and success. Success would mean profit for the business, but it was not to be achieved without the other values. The other values increase the possibility of profit because people do not want to be customers of a business that does not meet a need for them. It is possible for an organization to be based on values that are not good, such as unlimited power of a certain person or hatred of some other group of people. Such an organization is rarely strong for long and is always destructive. Values explain how people of the organization should behave while they work for the goals. It is not enough to achieve goals. A person needs to be satisfied with the way he got there. For example, a person should not be satisfied about winning a game if he won by cheating. A person who wants the enjoyment of real victory does not cheat because he would cheat himself of real victory. Values are listed in the order of priority. For example, one business listed integrity first because integrity should never be sacrificed in order to gain another value. Another business put safety before service because the safety of people is more important than their convenience. The order of values is important. For example, if a business values profit and also values honesty, what will an employee do when there is an opportunity to make a profit by being dishonest? What will he do when honesty might cost profit? If honesty is before profit in the list of values, he knows what to do. An organization is shaped by the way it deals with conflicts between values. A church's supreme value is to honor God, and no goal should be achieved in a way that does not honor God. An organization must find its values by self-examination. It is already following values, and those should be discovered. An organization cannot simply profess values. Some organizations claim values that they do not really follow, and their employees and customers know that the statement of values means nothing. The list of core values should be short, simply stated, known by everyone, and applied in every situation. The list of values should be a short list, maybe 4 or 5, because people cannot focus on many. The values are not chosen because they create good results. If values are chosen for that reason, they will be changed to get better results. Values are not chosen because they work well, but because they really are the most important. Sometimes an organization gets started and becomes successful with a certain product or idea. The people of the organization may think that the organization exists to provide that product or follow that idea. However, that product or idea may not always fulfill the values of the organization. It is better for the organization to establish its values, then be ready to do whatever fulfills those values. A mission organization was helping many churches with monthly financial support. Most of the budget was spent for routine support. However, the leaders began to realize that their most important value was the development of locally led, locally supported churches. Their routine support of churches hindered the achievement of their goal. They began to change their strategy and actions to fit with their value. They realized that their purpose was to help churches in a way that made them stronger instead of keeping them dependent. The only truly reliable source of stability is a strong inner core of values and the willingness to change and adapt everything except that core. The organization must demonstrate the values in all that it does, authentically and consistently. The values of the organization are not held by the leadership team alone. It is necessary that the people of the organization believe in the values and follow them. If people of influence in the organization do not really believe and support the values, the organization cannot be strong. The organization needs to consistently promote people who hold its values. People who do not hold the values should not continue in leadership. The environment should encourage support of the values so strongly that some people choose to leave and others are attracted. Strong discipline in an organization does not mean that there is no flexibility and variety. If people have commitment, they can have variety in almost everything except the values. Strong discipline means that the people of the organization must support the values in everything they do. Values become real only when you demonstrate them in the way you act and the way you require others to behave. If you are willing to act contrary to your professed values in order to get something done, your professed values are not your real values. Something else is more important to you. Built to last. Collins and Porras studied companies that stayed great over a long period of time while similar companies declined. They called the better companies visionary companies. The visionary companies more thoroughly teach employees their core values than the declining companies. They create cultures that are so strong that they seem religious about their values. They create cultures that are so strong that they seem religious about their values. The visionary companies more carefully nurture and select management based on how they fit with the core values than the declining companies. The visionary companies cause their people to more consistently align with the core values than the declining companies. An organization must find ways to instill the core values, teach applications of them, and observe practices for feedback and correction. All actions and policies of the company must signal the values. Stage 2. Realizing purpose. The company purpose is based on the core values. The purpose does not have to be unique from other organizations. The purpose guides and inspires excellence. An organization should be evaluated on the basis of how well it is fulfilling its purpose. The purpose is also unchanging. It is not the same as goals that are achieved then replaced. An organization will sometimes change the way it fulfills its purpose. It must adapt to changing needs in order to keep its original purpose. Before electricity was available, there was no refrigeration in homes. Companies delivered milk to homes daily. In many cities now, most people have refrigerators and can keep milk for several days. If a company existed only to deliver milk, it would no longer be needed. However, if its purpose were to provide products in a convenient way, it might find another way. Maybe it would provide a center where milk and other dairy products are sold. Maybe it would find a variety of products to deliver to homes instead of milk. A church building was located in a neighborhood that was changing. Many poor people of various ethnic groups were moving into the neighborhood. The people of the church did not know how to evangelize the new population of the neighborhood. Because the church did not have a purpose that could give them a vision for the neighborhood, the people sold the building and moved the church to another place. Stage 3. Sharing vision. Vision is a description of the way things should be. Vision is the answer to this question: what would things be if we succeeded completely? Vision is reality as it would be if the organization succeeded completely. The leader should have this picture in his mind and communicate it through the organization in a variety of ways. The leader should communicate and Behave in such a way that the people of the organization have no doubt about the leader's passion and commitment to the vision. People operate out of a basic understanding of reality, which controls the way they view individual issues. They have an understanding of how things are and how they ought to be. That understanding controls the way they view individual questions that arise. The leader must shape the way followers think about what is real, what is true, what is right, and what is important. Leaders aim to achieve lasting change and common alignment on these questions. The leader should constantly be explaining how things are and how they should be. A group of believers started a church in an impoverished area of a large city. Their values are the gospel, the local church, and family. Their purpose is to demonstrate life together in the church in the impoverished area. Their vision is that the geographical area be changed as people begin to live life in the church as God intended. Their goals are to communicate the life of the church to the community in specific ways. Stage 4. Setting goals. Goals are specific steps toward achieving the vision. They should be measurable and easy to see. Goals are based on the values because they show how the values should affect the customers, the team, the community, and the world. All goals should express what the impact of the values should be. Blanchard described the relationship between values and goals this way. Goals are for the future. Values are now. Goals are set. Values are lived. Goals change. Values are rocks you can count on. Goals get people going. Values sustain the effort. Goals should not be permanent. They should be changed when situations change. Values do not change, but goals must change so that they can serve the values in changing situations. A company in the United States made products for driving horses. When automobiles became common, few people bought products for driving horses. Because the company did not have a purpose that could be expressed in goals for new products, the company ceased to exist. The key to an outstanding, enthusiastic, flexible, and on-time team is to make sure your people are values-driven rather than goals-driven. A good team is motivated by a big goal. The goal should not be so high that the team does not really think it is possible, because then it is not really a goal. However, it should be so high that it would be a great success that requires great effort. People who are not in the organization may think the goal is impossible, but the goal should be something that a motivated team considers possible. Achievement of goals should be celebrated and commemorated so that they are seen as markers on the road toward the vision. Stage 5. Planning strategy. Strategy is making a plan of action that will achieve the goal. Strategy should be based on a realistic view of circumstances, the resources and abilities available, and reasonable but challenging goals. Strategy also includes setting policies. The people of an organization need patterns to follow that demonstrate the values and achieve the purpose. Otherwise, there is not consistent quality. A church should train people to know how to greet a visitor, how to pray with someone at the altar, what discipleship to offer to a new convert, how to respond to a material need in the congregation, and many other practices. If a church does not discuss these things and decide on a good plan, they cannot expect them to be done well. Goal setting comes before strategy, but goals will be adjusted while strategy is being done. Strategy will be adjusted during the action as you see the effects of your action. It is rare that a strategy is so perfect that it needs no revision. Persisting in a wrong direction is a worse mistake than starting in a wrong direction. Large changes of strategy can be costly in time, work, and resources, so make your strategy as good as you can early in the action. If you can find a way to try something in a small way first, then you know whether or not it will work. It is best to invest to expand something that has been tried and is already working. The army of a nation is designed to defend the nation in a time of war. Most nations are not at war most of the time. Therefore, thousands of men are trained for a purpose, then spend most of their time doing other things. An army has difficulty finding purpose for itself when it is not in war. An army often multiplies regulations and policies that keep people busy without a clear purpose. If a church does not have a clear purpose, it may become preoccupied with developing rules and policies and procedures. Stage 6. Taking action. Action should follow the strategy. Taking action includes recruiting help, getting work done, managing the activities, adjusting methods continually, keeping people motivated, and observing effectiveness. A mission organization helped support hundreds of churches in several countries. However, thinking about their values, they realized that the organization had originally started by people who took the gospel to people who had not been reached. They realized that spreading the gospel was their primary value, and sending the gospel to new places was their purpose. They decided to set new goals and plan new action. Instead of supporting established churches, they will focus on recruiting and sending missionaries to new places. Stage 7. Experiencing achievement. Achievement is not just succeeding at a large goal. Achievement is also the success of many goals on the way. An obvious progress toward the vision is an achievement. A mission organization worked to establish churches with training and projects. They had a large number of churches in relationship with them. Most of those churches had not been started by the mission, but were strengthened by the mission's influence. The organization's leaders realized that their value was the development and strengthening of churches. Therefore, their purpose was not primarily to evangelize and start churches, but to increase the ability of churches to do that work. They began to focus on developing training for churches. A team of Christians shared the gospel with people who were drug or alcohol addicts. Several were converted. They attended various churches but had difficulty finding a church that understood and accepted them. They formed a new church, led by the team that evangelized them. The values of this church are the gospel and transformation of addicts. Their purpose is to facilitate evangelism and special discipleship of addicts. Their strategy is to plan activities and programs that meet the spiritual needs of addicts and former addicts. 5 summary statements. 1. The process of organizational development has these stages: values, purpose, vision, goals, strategy, action, and achievement. 2. Values explain how people of the organization should behave while they work for the goals. 3. Vision is reality as it would be if the organization succeeded completely. 4. Goals are specific steps toward achieving the vision. 5. Strategy is the work of making a plan of action that will achieve the goal. This concludes Lesson 11, Ministry with Purpose.
You've been listening to an audio presentation from Shepherd's Global Classroom. If you've appreciated these lessons, please take a few moments to contact us on our website or in the SGC app. Our team would love to hear from you and to know that you are praying for us as we endeavour to serve the world's most underserved pastors and Christian leaders. Thank you for listening. It's been an honour for us to provide this teaching and to help you to grow in the grace and knowledge of the Lord Jesus.